And off the top at 5:30, a tragic day for South Florida. Support is now pouring in from all over after Miami-Dade Police Director Freddy Ramirez shot himself. Good evening, I'm Jim Berry.
And I'm Naja Sherman. At last check, Ramirez was undergoing surgery at a Tampa hospital. Here's what we know so far. Director Ramirez was in Tampa with his wife for a sheriff's conference yesterday. The two allegedly got into some sort of argument. A witness claims Ramirez took out a gun and put it in his mouth. When law enforcement arrived, both Ramirez and his wife denied anything was wrong. At some point later in the evening, they were traveling on I-75 when Ramirez pulled over and shot himself. He was rushed to the hospital and is expected to recover.
Now, sadly, we have seen this before. According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, police officers, compared to the rest of us, report much higher rates of depression, burnout, PTSD, and also anxiety. Joining us now is Dr. Dan Bober, a psychiatrist. And Doctor, thank you for being with us. Does it simply boil down to the stress connected to the job, or is there more to it than that?
You know, it's really difficult to know what's going on here, but what I can tell you is that police officers have a lot of marital stress. Long hours, shift work, all the traumatic events that they have to witness, it really takes a toll on a marriage. And we know that, as you said, police officers also have worse health outcomes when it comes to the general population. Higher rates of cardiovascular disease, hypertension, and stroke, all from the toxic stress that they experience on the job. So unfortunately, this is something I see very commonly. And we also know that police officers die on average about a decade sooner than the rest of the population, and that they are more likely to die from suicide than from on-the-job shootings. So it's a serious public health problem for police officers.
Doctor, in this day and age, especially with social media, it can be so easy to appear that everything is good in your life. So how, as concerned citizens, as parents, as just wanting to look out for our neighbor, how do we know the warning signs when on the surface it can so often appear that everybody's life is great?
Well, I think that's part of the problem with our culture. You know, we're so obsessed with looking like we have it all together. I call it the Facebook fallacy. We go on Facebook and we post pictures of our ski trips and our weddings and our vacations, and it seems like everything is fine, but it's really not. And sometimes even the people that are closest to us don't even know. So it's really important, if you are struggling, to reach out to the people around you and to do things to engage in self-care, like exercise, getting enough sleep, proper nutrition, getting off the grid, getting closer to nature. These are all things we can do, making a gratitude list, all things to remind us of all the blessings in our life.
Dr. Bober, great advice, and also a reminder that tomorrow does come.
Absolutely.
Yep. Dr. Bober, thank you so very much.
And we want to remind you that if you or anyone you know are having thoughts about self-harm, help is available every day, 24 hours a day. You can text or call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 988. You will immediately be connected to a trained crisis counselor. Again, that number is 988.